Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo, and you watching another episode of the Raider Rundown. And today, man, I thought the topic of conversation has to be about Josh Jacobs and that whole situation. Really get a deep dive into it, man, see what's going on. And at the end of the day, let's have some healthy dialogue about it. So without further ado, let's get this theme music rocking. Let's get into it.
As a young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? Once again, you watch another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all keep tapping on that like and subscribe button. Keep sharing out the content, man. Remember, we gotta get these watch hours up, man. I'm trying to get this channel monetized, so all the help y'all can give me, man, is much appreciated. But let's get into this news that, that's surrounding the Las Vegas Raiders that everybody's talking about, which is the Josh Jacobs situation and what's going on with that. So without further ado, let's get into it. So look, check this out, man. If y'all been watching this channel, follow me for a minute. We talked about the Josh Jacobs situation at great length, right? We talked about it a lot. I think I've even said what's probably going to happen with the scenario. If you can see right there, check that video out. But at the end of the day, we talked about the scenario. We talked about what's going to happen. We talked about, why Josh Jacobs would be primarily holding out. Okay, and at the end of the day, some more new information has come out to add on to that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I told y'all before in the video, right, that, Josh Jacobs was going to probably hold out. Not one, because he's unhappy with the Raiders roster, like a lot of fucking stories are circulating on social media currently, right? It's not because he's not happy with the roster, okay? It's because this is the factor. When you look at the running back position is severely underpaid, okay? Now, I just saw a post that says Justin Tucker makes more annually. Justin Tucker, the kicker of the Baltimore Ravens, makes more annually than Saquon Barkley does. That's a fucking problem, okay? And that's a problem, but we talked about it on this channel. The running back situation this year has decided to take its stand about their compensation. Josh Jacobs, since he was the leading rusher in the NFL last year, right? And he's also one of the top three best backs in the league as it stands right now. He has a lot to say, and his value isn't as higher as it could be right now, right? So at the end of the day, he has to take advantage of that. Now, some new information has come out to add on to that it's also about the guaranteed money inside the contract, right? The security of it. Now, when you look at that from Josh Jacobs' standpoint, he has to do whatever he can to secure as much guaranteed money and as much security as he can. When you look about the running back position, when you look about how much the Raiders are going to probably be using him, you feel what I'm saying? The Raiders are going to be using him a lot coming into this year. Another stat to throw out there, just saw some other stat on social media that Jimmy Garoppolo is like 10-2. In games, he has 0 touchdown passes. What does that mean? One, okay, maybe he took care of the ball, but at the end of the day, that means the team he was on was running the shit out the ball, which is what the Raiders are planning to do, because when you're looking at Jimmy G, you got to keep him healthy at all costs, right? So at the end of the day, Josh Jacobs is going to be a primary feature in the Raiders offense if he's playing. So at the end of the day, he needs that security. He needs that guaranteed money so that he can go out there and receive the 25 to 30 touches that he might be receiving in the game, right? So keep going with the new information, right? As you can see right here, the Raiders had Josh Jacobs in the building. He was in the parking lot, okay? He was in the parking lot. He was ready to sign the deal. The deal never came to fruition, which is very frustrating to hear as a fan of it. You feel what I'm saying? He was in the parking lot, in the building. He was waiting for the deal to get pushed through. Deal never got pushed through, right? And at the end of the day, now we're hearing rumblings from Adam Schefter that the Raiders offered him a 3-year deal. I believe $12 million at $12 million per year, which to me, right, is not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's fair compensation, honestly. And when you're looking at the Raiders, situation as far as the roster goes, I feel like, and I've been saying it for the entirety of the offseason, this isn't no new shit. Okay, the Raiders cannot overspend and overpay on this position. Does Josh Jacobs need to get compensated fairly? Yes. Can the Raiders afford to overpay Josh Jacobs? No. Okay, and this is the thing, right? The Raiders are not in the position roster-wise to even do that. And when you think about, some of these running back deals in the past that just come to my memory, when you're talking about situations like this, right? You're talking about Todd Gurley in the past, DeMarco Murray, okay? Who else are we talking about? Then you go with Le'Veon Bell, very recently, Ezekiel Elliott. What does all four of these running backs have in common? Okay? All four of these running backs have in common that the year previous, before they got their big new deal, they had a tremendous year, right? And even when you look at Todd Gurley and then went to the fucking Super Bowl. You feel what I'm saying? And they broke him off a bag. They broke off Zeke a bag. DeMarco Murray was the leading rusher in the NFL. Broke him off. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Le'Veon Bell held out of the entirety of the season. You feel what I'm saying? He had to hold out the entirety of the season. They ended up trading him. The Steelers ended up trading him away to the Jets. But as we all know, he was never the same player after the holdout and after all that. Why is that? We don't know. Now, am I saying that's going to be Josh Jacobs' situation? No. Because every player is different. Every team is different. Every scheme is different. Right? So we don't know if that's going to be his situation. But history has shown that this position right here, right? This position right here is a very risky position to give a large sum of money to. Okay, now, me personally, and I hope you guys are doing this as well, I'm looking at it from both sides of the coin. Okay, like I said before, I already see it from Josh Jacobs' point. I'm not even mad that he's holding out. I actually don't give a fuck he's holding out. It's what he should be doing. You feel what I'm saying? For him, for his personal security, for probably his position mates' personal security. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody that's gonna come after that wants to play running back and comes into the league, this is for them as well too. You feel what I'm saying? Like I told you before in other videos that the stand has to be taken from the running back position if they want to get paid the way that they want to get paid. Okay? Now, when we're looking at it from the front office point of view, although you love Josh Jacobs, there are a couple of factors to keep in mind. Okay? Now I love Josh Jacobs. Couple factors to keep in mind. One, last year was his real healthy season. You feel what I'm saying? A full season. He wasn't nicked. He wasn't bruised. And you heard Josh Jacobs say it at length this season. A lot. He said it. This is the first season I haven't felt nicked, bruised, something's wrong, had to do rehab. So that's one. All the years previous before this, you know what I mean? Oh my God, excuse me. What the fuck was that? Anyway, all the years previously before that, right? He's been nicked up, had to do rehab, missed some time, missed some games. So last year was the first, year we can really sit there and say he was healthy. Number two, like I've been saying, the roster as a whole is not ready to pay the running back fucking position right now. Okay, some people are gonna look at me. He's the best player, and he is, which is true. He was the damn near best player on offense last year, which is true. But it's also true to say that the Raiders roster can't fucking pay a running back $15 million a year, bro. We're not there. Because when you do that, if you do that, right, say you pay him his 15, he ends up playing pretty good, get you 1,000 yards, cool. But at the end of the day, if we can't add some other fucking pieces into the roster, we're gonna be what the fuck we've always been. Shit, trash. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we need to be adding players to this roster continuously. Like I said in previous videos, it's gonna take about 3 years to get this roster the way it's gonna need to be. This is the second year of the McDaniels and the Ziegler regime. As you can see, they're bringing in some players. Now next year, right, we'll be able to overspend because check this out, a lot of dead money comes off the cap, right? A lot of dead money comes off the cap next year. We're talking about like motherfuckers Corey Littleton and Nassib, Carl Nassib, like dudes like that who aren't even on the team no more, their salaries begin to come off the books next year. which allows the Raiders to then spend a little more freely as far as defensive key pieces. All right, offensive key pieces, we be able to do a lot. Now, if you give Josh Jacobs this year a very, very high amount of money, okay, at the end of the day, now our cap number decreases for next year, which is something that I think that the Raiders front office is really thinking about because, like I said, they got this 3-year plan. They got this 3-year window. So they got to be smart with it. They also drafted somebody last year. They also drafted a running back last year in Zamir White, Britton Brown. You got Sincere McCormick, who everybody talks about. At the end of the day, you're going to have to see what these guys can do. Now, are they Josh Jacobs? No, they're not Josh Jacobs. Do I want Josh Jacobs in silver and black? Fuck yes, I want Josh Jacobs as a Raider. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm looking at it from both sides of the coin. I can see it from Josh Jacobs' point of view. He's going to be carrying a rock a lot. Needs a lot of guaranteed money. You feel what I'm saying? He needs security, especially if I'm going to be your workhorse. Need the security, one. Number two, I feel like if I'm Josh Jacobs, I'm at least top 2, if not 2, best back in the league. You feel what I'm saying? So I need to be compensated like that. So I have no problem with him doing what he's got to do, bro. So that's what he has to do as a player, as a man. You feel what I'm saying? He's got to secure that bag. But as the front office is what I'm trying to get most of y'all to understand, because y'all are just looking at it from a player standpoint. Feel what I'm saying? You're just looking at it from a fan standpoint, which is cool, but at the end of the day, we got to dive a little deeper. You know what I mean? Like, you can look at it from a fan standpoint. My bad, technical difficulties. But like I was saying, right? Just saw this on Twitter, where the guy's saying that, Raiders are currently, valuing the dollar over the player, okay? I would argue that the Raiders have, valued player over smart dollar business sense for about like damn near 10 years, right? When you really think about it, look at all those dumbass contracts we've given players, sometimes based off name alone. You feel what I'm saying? Based off name alone, the Raiders have spent idiotically in the past couple years, bro, just overspending for fucking players. And I'm not saying that Josh Jacobs is one of those players because he obviously deserves his money. You feel what I'm saying? He deserves what he's gonna get because he's been playing like that. So he definitely deserves that. But at the end of the day, right, it baffles me how some people are really mad at a regime that's actually having smart business practical sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like, obviously I want Josh Jacobs as a Raider. But at the end of the day, if the fucking money don't make sense for the team in the long term, in the future, right? Then what the fuck are we doing it for? Right? Then what the fuck are we doing it for? I'll tell you like this to end it off like this, right? If McDaniels, if Ziegler end up getting the 3 years and it don't end up working out, okay? It don't end up working out. At the very least, I can say that Ziegler's contracts and the way he's, except for a few outliers, Ziegler's contracts won't leave the Raiders completely fucked for the next regime. Like Gruden, like May I get, damn near like Al was doing. You feel what I'm saying? Left the Raiders completely fucking screwed when you're talking about dead money. When you're talking about, the cap, all the shit, draft picks. Now, we've yet to see if most of the draft picks end up working out for Ziegler and McDaniels. And if they do, we're good to go. But at the end of the day, right, at least I know that for a fact. You feel what I'm saying? If this shit don't end up working out, I know for a fact we won't be fucked with money and roster decisions going forward. Okay, why? Because they're being fucking smart about what they're spending on. Like I said, there's a couple outliers, the Chandler Jones shit, all that other shit. I know what y'all motherfuckers is gonna say to me, right? I know. But at the end of the day, that's one, maybe 2 contracts that you could probably spit to me over like the enormous other amount of contracts that have been very, very smart and the numbers have made sense for the team. The numbers gotta make sense for the team. So at the end of the day, let's hope that this situation gets resolved. I do not, I don't anticipate Josh Jacobs coming back for training camp anytime soon. I'm gonna just put that out there right now. I said in the last video, we don't know how much time it's gonna be, but if he misses whatever time, I feel like it's gonna be training camp. Because at the end of the day, man, I mean, when you think, if you're a running back, bro, training camp is really like, nothing, to be honest. Like, If you think about it, running backs need to savor their body. You feel what I'm saying? He needs to just keep getting in shape, keep getting his body right. Because at the end of the day, what the fuck is training camp gonna do for a running back? Yes, I mean, if you were learning new plays in the system and shit, like, you're gonna need to be there. But at the end of the day, he's been in the system, he knows the system. What does it help his body to take a few extra hits? You feel what I'm saying? He might as well keep his body fresh and let's get the rocking for the season. So, once again, man, you watching another episode of the Raider Rundown. If you're feeling anything I'm saying, or if you disagree with anything I'm saying, please go in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it, bro. Let's have a nice, friendly discussion about it. And before we get into that, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, if you're getting disrespectful or you're trying to get all hyped up and angry, bro, I'm not finna fucking entertain you. All right, on this channel, we keep it positive, we keep it cool. And that's not me saying anybody has done it in the past, but I'm just putting a shot out there, all right? Because what I want to do for my channel, bro, I don't want no bullshit. I don't want no angry shit. Like, nah, bro. Like, let's have a civil discussion. We can agree to disagree. You feel what I'm saying? And if so, it is what it is. Because once August rolls around, once the Raider season rolls around, we all fam at the end of the day. So make sure you keep hitting that like and subscribe button. Keep sharing out the content, man. Let's get them watch hours up. Y'all know what time it is with that. And remember, I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.